my name is Ian Eddington and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. So yesterday I put out a video in my series of, oh boy, did that age badly, because oh boy, did that age badly. But that was a bit of a cheat. Because that was from an article that was 3 days old, and yeah, boy, that aged badly, very, very, very quickly. But that did age badly. So normally what I do is I put out articles or videos, and we comment on them that came out like 2 or 3 years ago, where they had all this confidence in the world, saying, "Oh yes, everything's gonna be fantastic. You're gonna love this. Oh, it's gonna be great." And now in the cold light of day, not so much. So yeah, we're gonna be looking at one of these days. This is an interview with Jodie Whittaker, with Ashley Eckstein. Ashley Eckstein, I've got a lot of respect for. I like Ashley Eckstein a lot. She's got this company called Her Universe, and she was the voice actor for, was it Ahsoka Tano from Clone Wars, and I think that's how she got introduced into fandom. And she saw a real niche in the audience, because there have been a lot of women coming into fandom over the last 20 years. It used to be in the 80s, it was a mainly male thing, but now I think it's generally a good thing that we have. It's a lot more rather than being like 95% male to 5% female. I'll say maybe 60-40, 70-30. I don't know how the demographics break out. Is it 50? I really don't know. Do not know how it breaks out. But actually, she had this really, really good idea. She started making clothes specifically for fanish clothes specifically for girls. And she's done very well. She did very well. I know, but I used to watch Battlestar Galactica with my my oldest daughter, and I got this really cool Battlestar Galactica hoodie for her. So yeah, again, really, really like her. Like the work she's done. I like that she's done well, and I wish her nothing but success. Something that she didn't have success with was the Jodie Whittaker Doctor Who range, which she was clearly very, very excited for. And this interview comes from I guess 2018. It came. I think just after the first episode aired, but not in public. I think it only aired for in cinemas, right, as a special preview. But I don't think it had gone out to the public yet. And oh boy, has it aged badly! And it has indeed aged badly. So this is about a 5-minute video. I'm starting about 2.5 minutes in. This is the second time I've recorded this. This is how much I love you. This is how much I love you, my subscribers. This is how much I love you. I recorded this video, and I look, there's stuff I was making fun of her at the beginning, but it was a lot of fluff. But the real meat of the stupid stuff she started saying that really aged badly started about 2.5 minutes in. So I'm recording this again. I'm cutting out the fluff. I'm saving it about 10 minutes out. 10 minutes out your life at least here. So you're welcome. What can you do? What can you do in return for me? I'll tell you what you can do. You can hit the like button. You can hit the share button. You can hit the subscribe button. Now, I really like the subscribe button. That's one of my favorite buttons in the whole universe. And I would say clicking it makes me unbelievably happy, pathetically happy. It's kind of like a weird superpower. You just click that button, I go, woohoo! I very much enjoy it. Now, what will happen if you click that button? Will you be imbued with superhuman powers? Will you be able to control and dominate those who oppose you or try to oppress you? Will you become the object of desire for women or men, whatever the opposite, whatever the sex is you would like to attract? Would that happen? Maybe. I don't know. Look, I have heard tell that many riches have been showered upon people who have subscribed. Listen, those who bless me are often blessed. That just happens. I can't explain it. That just happens. Now, of course, results may vary. One thing I can guarantee you: if you click the subscribe button, you'll make me very happy, and you can enter my weekly competition. So the prizes change every week. The prize I just announced last night. This is a new one. First, we have a double. We have a two-header today. We got this Doctor Who card game. Now, why do I have a Doctor Who card game? Because I never played card games, and I've never played. This has never been used before. Never played. Right. So I have a neighbor. who is a toy manufacturer, and interesting story. He bought Pokemon cards to Israel. And just to give you an idea what the Israeli tax system is like, he did all his taxes really, really honestly, really well, didn't want to have any problem whatsoever, and then he nearly went to jail. Because they said, well, look, if that's what you're reporting, you must have made triple that, right? And so he had to prove that he wasn't hiding. Yeah, that was a very stressful year for him. He said, anyway, so he's a toy manufacturer. Whenever he goes to Toy Fest, because he's such a great freaking neighbor, and there's never any Doctor Who stuff, you get any freebies, he always brings it back to me. So that's where this card game comes from. Never played it before. Hope you enjoy it. That's like the second part of the prize. The first part of the prize, the main part of the prize, I would say, is this fantastic graphic novel, Scarlet Traces, the great game. This is by Ian Eddington and D'israeli. It's got very, very stylized artwork. If I can see, if I can show you in it, it's essentially a sequel to What War of the Worlds, but it riffs on lots and lots of like classic genre things like Dan Dare, Doctor Who. You know, but look at the artwork, just absolutely fabulous. I love it. And essentially, it's a sequel to War of the World. Imagine what the British Empire would have done if, after the failed Martian invasion, they got their hands on all that Martian technology. Yeah, exactly. So that's what happens. It's set in the 40s. I really, really like this book. All you need to do to win it, I'm going to be putting out a review of it maybe today, so you can get more of an idea what it is. All you need to do to win it is subscribe to the channel. Subscribe, and in the comments leave the hashtag Mars Attacks. Mars Attacks. If you don't understand my much-mouthed pronunciation, go to the video notes, copy and paste, and you can enter it that easy. It's that easy, folks. And the prize for it's going to be on, I'm going to guess it's Sunday, September, I think it's 13th. I'm going to be on the TARDIS Zone. We're doing a watch along of Doomsday, the season finale of David Tennant's first year, the 2006 season. And then we're going to do the prize drawing then, and we'll announce next week's prize. Fine. Okay, let's have a look at this video. So, as I said, it starts off 2.5 minutes in. They talk about the jacket. You know, she's wearing Jodie's jacket. She was marketing it. You wish you could now get on a website for like a quarter of the cost, because they can't sell them because no one's interested and they got a lot leftover stock. So they talked a little about it. They said, what's Jodie's favorite part of the costume? And she said pockets. That was a lie. Her favorite part of the costume was the rainbow flag on top, because that rainbow flag wasn't a delightful callback to Colin Baker's Doctor. No, it wasn't showing support for the lesbian, gay, or bi people of the world, because that's like showing support for, like, the blonde people, or any other, like, nobody cares if you're gay or lesbian. Nobody, it doesn't really bother anybody. And this is coming from me, a rabbi, a Bible thumping, Old Testament Bible thumping creationist. Listen, I have, like most religious people, I have enough self-awareness to say that I don't judge people for not subscribing to the same the same worldview to me, and if I've never met somebody who goes, oh, I'm not going to talk to that person, I don't like that person because he sleeps with people of the same sex. Nobody does that. And if they do, they're massive arseholes, and that's how they're viewed in the world. So it wasn't for the gay people, it wasn't for the lesbian people, it wasn't for the bi people, it wasn't people like Colin Baker. It was for the trans people. It was the trans. Being transgendered is the cause of the day. It's the cause that the Twitterati likes to make themselves good about themselves by white knighting trans people. They go, oh, trans people are oppressed. They're so really, if they're so oppressed, why are there like beloved musicals based around big trans, like Rocky Horror, The Carnival Fool? It doesn't strike me as being so oppressed. Yeah. There have been, it has been done in comedy, Little Britain, Monty Python, that people cross-dress because there is a basic absurdity to it, which just human beings find funny. Now, if you are trans, of course, I'm nothing against you, just sometimes people are going to giggle. It's the way it is. People laugh at me. I'm Jewy. I wear this on my head. I'm fat. People laugh at everyone. It doesn't freaking matter. None of that ever freaking matters. And I think, most people who are like, banging their chest about this are really just virtue signaling, which is, I think the central tenet of the 13th Doctor. She likes a good virtue signal, doesn't she? Fine. So let's get into this interview and see the stupidity that she has to say. Here we go. I'll press play. Doink.
Exactly. I love the moment when you created your sonic screwdriver.
Yeah, actually, I have to tell you, that actually wasn't bad. at the time, when you didn't know how awful it was going to be, and you didn't know how really terrible it was going to be, that was quite a good bit, right? Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, it's a bit Doctor Who-y. Yeah, but like now, she doesn't see any reality in the Sonic Studio. She's like saying, no, you just go in and wave it. No, you got to treat it like it's real. You got to find some authenticity in your performance. Otherwise, your performance is fundamentally flawed and fake, which I think is which is really the problem with Whittaker's terrible portrayal of the Doctor.
If you had a sonic screwdriver in real life, what would you use it for?
Oh, I would use it for reading minds.
What? Okay, you don't use it for that. Firstly, Sylvester McCoy's Doctor made it pretty clear you could read minds. But okay, oh God, maybe done a little bit of research on your character before going on publicity about it. You see, here's the thing: she just thought, I'm a woman. People are going to say I'm stunning and brave because I'm now playing the Doctor. I've broken that glass ceiling, and everyone's just going to love me. And I don't have to do anything other than be a woman. I don't have to research the character. I don't have to produce good Doctor Who. I don't have to do any of that stuff at all. I just have to be a girl. Turns out that most of the public didn't think so, did it? Turns out most of the public were not of that point of view.
That's a good one.
God, okay, Ashley, you are one of the greatest actresses of all time. Okay, that you managed to sell that he wasn't being an utter idiot, right? That you didn't just hit yourself in the face with a plank of wood. That I think you've done very well, really, very, very well.
That's a good one.
And translating me, the brilliance of, the TARDIS, but I would for my own self be translated into every language.
Again, that's what the TARDIS does. The TARDIS translates. I mean, really? Okay, I can understand. Okay, if you weren't the star of this show, being so publicly put front and center up until these episodes started airing, people saw how awful they were. If you were the star, maybe you should have just done a little bit of research. I mean, honestly. And she still was bad today. When she also had that interview for the HBO Max launch, right? They said, "Oh, what's the name of the Christmas special, the holiday special?" You can't say Christmas. What's the name of the holiday special? And she said, "Hey, it's Revolution of the Dalek." No, it's Revolution of the Daleks. These things are very important to your target audience. These things are very important to target audience, which is why your target audience has left you in droves. And you know who else has left you in droves? The entire rest of your bloody audience. You lost, what, 70%? 70, I think more than 70% now, isn't it? Yeah, that's what, God, look at Ashley's face, okay? I am just like, can I zoom in on this to show you how, right? Oh my God, like, whoa, like, okay, again, very good acting, Ashley, very good acting. I'm very impressed.
Because I think even English speakers probably struggle with how thick my accent is, so it would be...
No, it's not your accent that's the problem. It's not your accent. It's the content of your speech, okay? It's not your style of speech, it's your content. And your content, I think you reflect your Doctor very well in that just as your Doctor is an utter moron, utter moron, I think you probably are too. Now, I never met you. You might not be a moron, but bloody hell, you certainly play one, and I don't think you're that good an actress, really, to pull off not being a moron.
It'd be wonderful if I could just use the Sonic and then be translated.
I love that. Obviously, this is a spoiler-free zone. But
okay, you don't need spoilers because no one's watching because nobody cares and it's crap.
What can you tell us about the new season? And the reason I ask is this a season that anyone can jump right into, even non-Doctor Who fans or new Doctor Who fans?
Oh, I wonder if that question was fed to them by the BBC marketing department. I wonder. Ooh, because that seems so natural. And look, Jodie's got an answer right off the top of her head. Really, it's not like she's looking at a cue card off screen, which almost certainly she is.
Yes. Absolutely, because for me, I'm a new Whovian, so...
No, you're not. And that's the problem. Okay, no one needs you to be a Doctor Who fan. Okay, you just need you to be able to do your job. And I think part of doing your job should have been what Matt Smith did, who also wasn't a Doctor Who fan, right? He did Doctor Who was not when he was growing up. He went back and he watched an episode of every Doctor, and he was able to see the through line of the Doctor, who the character was, and from that pulled out, I think, one of the greatest performances in Doctor Who. I really loved his. Honestly, you're asking me who was the best performance in Doctor Who? It's between Capaldi and Tom Baker for me. That Capaldi performance just, well, again, He's a brilliant actor with an encyclopedic knowledge, Doctor. You didn't need that. You just needed to do some work, but you didn't do that. You didn't go back and watch the episode because you don't like it. You're not a Doctor Who fan. Stop pretending you are. Listen, sometimes I used to work in tech support, right? At one time, for a very short amount of time, worked in tech support. And it's very, very obvious very quickly when somebody doesn't have their whatever it is turned on. They're like, oh, is there a green light on? Okay, so just reach behind the back of it and you feel that switch there. Click the switch. Okay, it should be working now, right? So that's how, when something is freaking obvious, something is freaking obvious. And what's freaking obvious is you don't know and you don't like Doctor Who. Well, actually, so congratulations. I think you've done you've done quite well for yourself because you made most people also not like Doctor Who.
So, this wasn't a show that was on in my house growing up, and obviously...
Yeah, it could have been. I just don't think you wanted to watch it because you don't like Doctor Who, I had to say, most girls, prior to David Tennant didn't really like Doctor Who. Being a Doctor Who fan wasn't necessarily something that would endear you to the ladies. That's not something that made you cool in 1987. Let me tell you.
Being British and then becoming an actor and having lots of friends who are in it or have been the Doctor.
Yeah, you knew somebody who was the Doctor. That's the closest you came to research.
See loads of it, but it was. I think there's a mythology that can happen with a show that has such a rich history that you need this encyclopedic knowledge to enter.
No, the viewer doesn't need encyclopedic knowledge. You need a rough idea of what the character is. Oh boy, has this aged badly? Has this aged very, very badly?
Enter into it, and you don't. And I can say that as...
Yeah, exactly. That's the other thing about season 11. I mean, the utter boredom season 11. You had no recurring monsters. You didn't even know anything before other than Doctor Who used to be good, and now it's not. So if you were confused, go back and watch them earlier ones, because it used to be better than that.
As someone who has entered into it, but also for us, it's this season is it's not wiping anything clear. It's just a starting off point. Maybe for new fans.
No, wiping things clear, that'll be your next season, right? Then you kind of want to completely redefine what Doctor Who was, because it's a little bit problematic for you, wasn't it, Jodie? A little bit white and male for you. Well, so you had to let's add in infinite Doctors, all of them anything other than being white and male. That you had that coming next year, right?
But then they have this wonderful, set of box sets to binge watch for a good few years to come, but it's certainly
okay. I'm 49. I've been binge watching Doctor Who as long as I can remember. Honestly, as long as I can remember. I grew up with technology. Technology grew up with me, and I've had my VHS recordings, my off-air VHS recordings that then mutated into like the. In the 80s there was this wonderful underground of Doctor Who pirate tapes, which I really that went into that, and I made my own covers for them, and then they started releasing them on VHS. So I had my Doctor Who collection on VHS, and now it's on DVD. Now it's moving to Blu-ray. So I've had a few box sets that I blew. In fact, the only time I haven't bought Doctor Who seasons that when they come out, the only time ever is yours, darling, because for me it was too fundamentally different from what Doctor Who was. Doctor Who, for me, one of the most important things for me is Doctor Who was a very, very intelligent show and character, and a moral giant that didn't care about approval from the world. That's the opposite of your Doctor. You're a mental midget in this. The way you're playing it is just a moron, an utter moron. You have no moral authority whatsoever, and your Doctor, and I think you as well, spend their lives virtue signaling. If you're the first Doctor who would have a blue check mark on Twitter, right? That's who you are. Those terrible, terrible Twitterati. That's who your Doctor is.
We don't. The joy of the Doctor and the wonderful world of Doctor Who is celebrating inclusivity. So
it's always celebrated inclusivity until it was until your season. Oh boy, has that aged badly. It was until your season. It was the first time we didn't have a female character who was in any way relatable or believable. It's firstly in your season when people were defined by their skin color. The Timeless Child, the script of the Timeless Child says that the Timeless Child regenerates into a beautiful brown girl. In the 80s, that was racist. In the 90s, that was racist. I'm offended by your incredible racism. Inclusivity. I mean, like, really? And so if you're so inclusive, why have you lost most of your audience? I'll tell you why you lost most of your bloody audience. It's because you're exclusive. You're not inclusive at all. You know, are you inclusive about people who voted for the current president of the United States or for the current government in England, which was most of the bloody country, if you recall, or the people who voted for, obviously people who win the most, but like for a landslide was most of the bloody country, or are you inclusive of the people who thought Brexit might have been a good idea? Are you inclusive of it? No, you're inclusive of the people that you think you want to be inclusive of. That's not being inclusive. That's called being a bigot. Oh.
To exclude people who haven't seen it would, would be...
No. So instead you're just excluding people who had seen it or excluding people who wanted to have an enjoyable time watching it. Okay, well done. Congratulations.
Shocking.
Well, Jodie, we cannot wait to go on this ride with you.
You should wait. You should wait, darling. And you should want to wait a lot because it was terrible. It's been awful. And I'm just hoping. I'm hoping against hope that the new Director General of the BBC, Tim Davie, wants to make TV shows that people like and don't hate, and TV shows that don't feel like they're preaching to you and preaching utter nonsense. So, I hope your journey has totally ended.
We're just getting started. Thank you so much for chatting with us today. Thanks. Bye.
Just getting started. I only wish you were just getting finished. Hopefully you are. So there you go. Oh boy, did that age badly. I recorded that twice for you. And I think I probably saved you a good 10 minutes there. My name is Sheila Beckin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.